What's how are you?
Morning, Tony.
All right, Tony.
Boys, how are you all doing? So first of all, I just want to put that absolute muppet straight. Because that man hasn't a clue. All he does is use big words to confuse and contradict himself. He's an absolute clown. First and foremost, he makes out right. Some of the points he's just made there about Alexander Usyk beating Anthony Joshua, yes, give him his credit, 100%. Yes, he went out there and he put the performance on of his life. He was brilliant, he really was, and he won the fight, in my opinion. No questions asked. Split decision, no, I don't think it was. But let's just talk about the points that Simon Jordan's made. The first point that he makes is Froch and Groves fought in front of 90,000. Well, obviously, you don't listen to Carl Froch very much because it was 80,000. So there's the first fact and point you've made wrong. Second point is Anthony Joshua made stadium fights happen in our country on a regular basis. He's the first fighter in this country to ever do it. It wasn't happening before then. Yes, we've had big stadium fights, one-off events, the likes of Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank rematch at Old Trafford. We've also had Carl Froch and George Groves happen at Wembley Stadium because they're big one-off events that happen. Anthony Joshua is the first fighter in UK history to take fights to Wembley Stadium on a regular basis, the Millennium Stadium on a regular basis, took fights to Saudi Arabia for the first time in the history, goes to New York, fills Madison Square Garden. This boy has genuinely changed how boxing is seen in this country. That's the first factor to get off. He also talks about the zone making it a split decision and monitorizing anything that was going on with that decision. Now, let's just get it straight. Judges have no care in the world for the zone. Judges only care about being paid and scoring fights. That's the top and bottom of it. So that's another fact he got wrong. He spoke about Anthony Joshua's wanting to feel that he could go on the microphone and say whatever he wants and do certain things. He also misses the fact of when Anthony Joshua first loses that fight and Alexander Usyk gets that Ukraine flag and puts it on his back, Anthony Joshua holds half of that flag and holds it up in the air. This is before the decisions come in. Tell him to have a look at the video again and see what he's doing because he's obviously got that massively wrong. He's just an absolute prat at times. He also then goes on to say that after he has the outburst in the ring, which he's done, he's made the mistake. Big deal. I forgot that Simon Jordan was absolutely perfect and gets everything right, which he obviously doesn't. But let's just go on that one. He said Eddie gets in his ear and tells him to, think about what he's done. The words he actually used is contrived tears. Who are we watching here? Denzel Washington or Anthony Joshua? How could he possibly think that was acting from Anthony Joshua in that press conference? The boy's genuinely heartbroken. He's just lost the biggest fight of his life to date. He believes 100% he's going to win that fight going into the fight. And let's also not forget, he's probably just been punched well in excess of 100 times in the head before he's had the outburst in the ring and then had the breakdown in the press conference. Simon Jordan has no idea what it's like to get punched in the face, what it's like to have a microphone stuck in your face after a press conference, in a fight, whatever have you. He has no idea. So how does he feel the need to get all these facts off his chest? Basically, Simon Jordan fancies Tyson Fury and he absolutely adores and loves him. He forgets the fact of Tyson Fury's the man who, yes, went to Germany and beat Vladimir Klitschko 100%, but he also forgets this is the same man who self-imploded and put the heavyweight division into the absolute chaos and mess that it's in now. He's also the same man who failed a drug test. He's also the same man who's kicking a man when he's down. The same thing that Simon Jordan's doing. He's kicking a man when he's down. What an absolute coward. I couldn't think of anything worse. He's bang out of line with the things he's labelled him. And I absolutely guarantee you, he'd probably see him and ask for his autograph. That's the worst part about it. He's just have a little bit of humility. And that's the basically I've got it all off my chest now. That's about it, guys.
Thanks, Tony. I appreciate that. That was an excellent little rant there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to pick up on something you said as well. We spoke about this yesterday actually on the radio about the different levels that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury get held to. And I wondered why, because from where I'm sat, it looks different, doesn't it? I wondered why you think that people seemingly treat Anthony Joshua a little bit harsher in the way that they treat Tyson Fury for everything that Tyson has also done in his past.
Because Tyson Fury's come out and he's been quite honest about his situation with mental health. And it's very, very tough what he's been through. And I give him all the credit in the world to come out the other end of the tunnel the way he did. It was absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy for him. And he's got a lovely young family there, and a wife who probably backed him and been through hell and back with what he's done. But why is it that people feel that Anthony Joshua is probably the most clean-cut heavyweight champion we've had since Lennox Lewis? Says nothing wrong, does nothing wrong, but people are waiting for him to fall. This guy's the face of Lucasade. This guy's the face of Lynx. This guy's the face of Under Armour. But yet, it's like we're itching and waiting for him to fall so we can all go, oh, look, you're not perfect. He's never said he was perfect. He's always claimed that he's working on himself. He's trying his best. But the minute that the guy falls, everyone's looking to heap the mud on him. And it's just a sad situation.
After the fight, Tone, what I got out of it was it's his personal pride in his performance that's hurt him. He wasn't fighting for money. I actually thought he's that upset that he hasn't won, that he's got hundreds of millions of pounds probably in the bank, but it didn't mean anything when he was in that ring. And he just emotionally, it was like as if, can we have another fight? Because I need to put it right.
He wants to go back to the gym straight away already. That's how driven and his desire to win is. But, when Simon Jordan says his self-entitlement, what's his self-entitlement, mate? His self-entitlement, he's gone in the ring and he's first left the ring absolutely heartbroken and he's furious. He's probably with himself to a certain extent. The worst thing he's done is go back in that ring full of emotion and full of regret and loss. No one in life likes to lose. Everybody at some point has a bit of a meltdown. Everybody loses the rag, and it's just unfortunate that he's lost his rag and got angry in front of millions of people on TV.
Yeah.
But what part is, how many of them millions of people are out there on social media and things like that wanting to give him a dig when he's having his little bit of a meltdown? Because everyone has them every day in their life. Why is he any different? He's not special. He's not some superhuman who doesn't feel emotion and doesn't feel pain. He's the same as everyone else. And he's come there and he's just, it's all come on top of him. This lad has lived his life under the spotlight for a decade. Since he won gold in 2012 at the London Olympics, this boy has been under the media spotlight since then. And it's like the world has waited for him to fall. All because, you know what he's done? He's just won and won and won. Saying that he won it off a paper champion in Charles Martin, okay, that's all great. But why is Vladimir Klitschko all of a sudden shot to bits because Anthony Joshua beats him 18 months after Tyson Fury? Can anyone explain that to me? Because in my eyes, Vladimir Klitschko put in a hell of a performance while dropping Anthony Joshua and then just got stopped. And then no one gives him credit for beating an undefeated former world champion in Joseph Parker. No one gives him credit for beating another Olympic gold medalist and brilliant fighter in Povetkin. No one gives him credit for beating someone like Pulev and knocking him out the way he did. It's just big fight after big fight. And then also, let's not forget, and be brutally honest here, guys, did he have to face Alexander Usyk? No, he didn't. Only one belt he was mandatory for. That was the WBO. He could have easily sidestepped Usyk, sat still and got the Fury fight, but he didn't. He took on another challenge that everybody thought he wouldn't, and he lost. Big deal. Every fighter loses. It's going to come to them all at some point, unless you're Floyd Mayweather, unfortunately.
Tony, can I ask just on that, because Fury did have a chance to fight Usyk before, didn't he? And he didn't.
And he didn't, Woodsy. He bottled it. He gave it up and said he needs a warm-up fight first. This boy has had more warm-up fights than bloody hell. I don't know, but he's just constantly... Imagine if Tyson Fury's... Anthony Joshua's next fight was against Tom Schwartz. The world would implode. Everyone would go absolutely crazy. They'd go nuts, let's be totally honest. He cannot have a fight to warm himself back in, but one person's allowed one thing and one person's allowed another. It's just... It's an absolute disgrace. This lad done nothing but represent our country amazingly. Won an Olympic gold, brought it home to our country, an Olympic champion. And it's just like the world wants him to implode and is happy to see the downfall. And Simon Jordan, someone who's obviously extremely bright and intelligent as he is, I can't believe he's wanting to kick a man so much when he's down. I don't get it. To be honest, you'd think Simon Jordan was an amazing boxing coach or could actually punch people in the face and be quite good at it. He's a fella who's thrown a football club and he that as well.
I'm sure there are a few people that would like to get him in the ring. Can I just ask, because we are running out of time, Tony, just your thoughts on two potential fights. Will we see Fury Usyk next? And what will we see next for Anthony Joshua?
I do think we'll end up seeing Fury and Usyk.
This year?
It's inevitable. I'm not sure if it's this year. I mean, he probably wants about 2 warm-up fights first, but listen, as amazing as he is, I'll be honest, Tyson Fury's a huge favourite going into that fight. Anyone who's 6'9" and 20 stone and can move like Tyson Fury, he's virtually impossible to beat. He really, really is. Don't get me wrong, I do believe that right now, looking forward, he is the only person in the world who can do it, Alexander Usyk. I know he wants to go straight back to gym already, but he has to have a break. He has to come away from the media spotlight that's been on him for a decade. He has to just chill out and relax and forget about boxing for a bit. Because if he was to go straight back into camp right now, the amount of pressure is just is going to stay on him, and it's still there. He just needs to go away and disappear and do what he wants for a little bit away from everyone. And I know that's what he'll want to do, but he doesn't come out and say that. That's the first time we've seen Anthony Joshua just be a normal person on Saturday night. Heartbroken in a press conference. It just broke me heart seeing it. It's so sad, Woodsy, because I understand and know I've been there and done it. For people who I haven't been there and done it, it's so hard to explain, but this whole world's come crashing down around him, and it's happening in front of a dozen cameras, and everyone is just, he'll feel like they're laughing or saying this or saying that, but it's just so very, very hard.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.